Good evening. It is now kind of the middle of the night, and I know I streamed earlier tonight. That was a more serious game, and I'm still very much awake and behind on my episode count. So let's have a bonus late night stream. So we're going to play SimCity 3000 tonight. There have been a number of editions of SimCity over the years. SimCity 3000 was the one that was big when I was in high school and college. That was the current version back then. And before we start, I'm going to wait a moment because my studio is showing me red right now, which means dropped frames. So while we wait for that to resolve itself, I am going to attempt to... I want to show you something before we continue. Hold on a second. Why am I getting a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning? Anyway. So we're flashing back to green. So before we start with the SimCity, I actually want to take a moment for Nostalgia November and show you something that used to be a big part of my high school and college days. The first miniatures game, Mage Knight, released in 2001. It had a nice run over about a dozen sets and lasted till 2005. And then the world was recently revived as a board game a couple of years ago. But I want to show off some of the original miniatures. I used to have a massive collection many years ago. It was one of many collections I had to sell for emergency cash after my long unemployment started. But I restarted my collection. I have a couple figures here to show you, but I don't have a lot yet. So I have here Gatekeeper Bisson, and you can see how detailed and well painted the miniatures are. They were ahead of their time. And you can see on the base, I don't know if you can see that, but you can see, yeah, just a little bit. You can see a little window, and through the window, you can see his stats. And what made this game unique is, unlike other miniatures games where the stats were on cards you had to keep hold of on the side and refer to, the stats for Mage Knight were right on the dial. And you could, as the character got wounded, you could click the dial and his stats would change depending on how hurt he was. And then eventually you would click it to skulls, which means the character was defeated. I don't think my camera's picking that up. I can't hold it correctly anyway. Yeah, you can see the 3 skulls. That means the character's dead. But anyway, this is a Gatekeeper Bisson. He was exclusive to one of the castle pieces. They released a bunch of castle accessories for Siege rules. And this is the other castle exclusive character, Lord Maka. They're both repaints of common molds. And then in addition to them, I also got the 4 Seekers. There were 3 dungeon sets released during the line. The second one, Pyramid, was well known for having some notable monsters in it, and all 3 dungeon sets were notable for having some low-cost unique characters. And in the second dungeon set, Pyramids, there was a set of 4 hero pieces called the Seekers. And I'll show them off real quick. This is the thing I like about the Seekers is they all have these unique translucent purple weapons. This is Seeker Mock. He looks like Ranger type, and they all have these purple masks to match their weapons. These guys are unique enough that I actually used the images of them for an art project in college. Seeker Azrook. He's the warrior of the group. Seeker Contri, who has a kind of a throwing weapon. And then Seeker Elidia, who has a staff, and I think she's supposed to be like the sorceress of the group. You can see her staff is a little bent. Due to the age of these figures, most of the ones with staves and stuff they're bent. But let me go ahead and package up these Mage Knights real quick, and we will move on to the main event, the SimCity game. I have some other Mage Knights. I got some of the big figs that I am planning to do a mass unboxing of once my last couple packages arrive. They were supposed to be in this week, but there were shipping delays on 2 of the packages. So now that stream is not going to be till next week. I hope the stuff arrives in time for me to do it before the end of the month, so I can still use the Nostalgia November title. Let me turn the camera off. Oh, I dropped one. There he is. And you'll be seeing these guys again when I do the Mage Knight unboxing stream, and I'll be able to talk about them in more detail. But, alright, so SimCity, I couldn't force it into a window, so I have to do a full screen capture, so the resolution's not going to look the best tonight, but we'll work with what we've got. So let me switch over to the desktop cam and pull up the game. And we just flashed red again. I hope that's not going to be a thing throughout the stream. Alright, let's turn off the music. We'll keep the sound effects. I suppose we can make the resolution a little better. Okay, so now I have to adjust my screen a little bit. Changing the resolution changed my positioning. Well, let's see here. Let's move it up some more. We saw a big ugly gap at the top of our screen. I'm doing this blindly because of the way the game loads. I can't force it into a window. I tried multiple ways before the stream. None of the fixes work on this particular game. So yeah, I think we're pretty much there. We have a couple strips, top and bottom, but I'm not concerned about that. Now let me just... Alright, let's go into the game. We'll do a new game. We'll do Sandbox. We'll call it Eevee-Opolis. The mayor name, of course, is Eevee. We'll start on easy for the extra starting money. I'll make a medium city. They'll give us a lot of land to work with. We're not going to use it all because tonight's stream isn't going to be particularly long, I don't think. Unless this game turns out to be as addicting as I remember and keeps us up all night. We want a lot of water space, a lot of forested space, some mountains. Still be a little strip of land, I guess. No, I like that. With a river leading out to a harbor. Alright, how do I navigate? I can navigate by clicking along. Down here, let's start with a special building. We are going to choose a landmark to start our city with. Let's see here. Which landmark do I want to do a replica of to start our city? Maybe that. That's so iconic. I feel like the Eiffel Tower has become a meme. It's so overused at this point. Alright, I'm going through the list real quick so we can pick something cool. Lincoln might not be a bad landmark to have. The Parthenon they have is the old run-down version, the modern version. Alright. Oh, they have Neuschwanstein Castle, one of the inspirations for the Disney castles. The Sphinx, interesting. The Alamo might be an interesting one to have. Tokyo Tower, that famous copy of the Eiffel Tower. Big giant obelisk to mark off our city. That's a great one too. You know what? The Alamo looks good to me. But I think let's go with Lincoln. It's such a classy looking building, and it's so much different than in architectural style than so many of the starter buildings we'll be placing. And we will start it here, near the water. And let's zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so I know how to move the map now. Let's build a road around it. And my mouse is jamming up again. It's been doing that a lot recently. want the grid on. We have a complete loop around the memorial, which is good. Okay, we need to start getting some important stuff going. So let's build a couple civic buildings here. Our first police headquarters and fire station. And I like to keep my road network tight. Did I build that incorrectly? I think I did. Yeah. There. Now we go. We're going to play the simulation, but we're going to play it at normal speed. City needs more roads. Let's build our first residential zone over here behind the memorial. But first, let's put a road around it. So we have a smaller residential zone to start. And obviously we're not connected to the outside world right now, so that's why nobody's coming in. Where's the intake for the roads? I can't tell. And here we're going to build a bigger section. Let's take out this road section here. Okay, now we really need to figure out why people aren't coming in. And then we'll put a little commercial district over here around the memorial and up to the water's edge. it's not meant. What the hell? The mouse just jumped on me. A little roadside path. Here's a little commercial district. And here's some more commercial districting. And now, before we build anything else, I need to figure out why people aren't coming in. And also why the stuff I'm storing under my desk is not staying put. That's not right. Everything keeps falling. That's good enough for now. Okay, power's not happening. That's a problem. I don't want to build this near residential, nor near the water. Let's level a bunch of land over here. Let's level out some of this mountain over here. I don't know why the mouse keeps jumping on me. Alright, I can't level anything else. I can't afford it. But now we have space for a power plant. And now a road so that the workers can get to it. And now we need some power lines. How does this work? Shoot, I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, let me go look up how to get things started here, because we're definitely failing. Alright, let me go look up. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm looking up things I'm supposed to do to start, because clearly we're failing somewhere. Alright, so apparently we're missing water. Let's try this again. Let's add a little water industry here. Let's make sure there's water going into every zone. So we have 2 pumping stations on the edge of the water to supply our town with water. How do we get back above ground? Okay, that's one way. Okay, things are starting to be built here. Now that we have a residential zone coming together, let's build a school. So our town now has a school. Looks like there's some construction in the residential districts right now. Where do I see the power grid? The water is not receiving. Okay, we're starting to get population now. That's good. But the water is not receiving power. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. Why does it say they're not powered? All right. Okay, I have a nice large road network. Why does it say they can't get to work? Is it because there's no roads to go to? There's no roads for the employees to get there? Is that why our water pumps aren't working? All right, let me look this up because I'm clearly lost. How do power lines work in SimCity? Once we have our infrastructure set, I'll speed up the timer so we can actually. Give me a moment. I'm looking up the how to do this. Okay, so apparently the power lines they only need to run within the vicinity, so I think we're good for that right now. Let me pull up the studio. Honestly, I'm having so much trouble getting the city started. Okay, looks like they're powered now. Let's speed things up a bit. Okay, so we have our water station going. Let's build our first big industrial zone. Alright, things are happening for our city now. And then, because people don't like living right next to factories, we'll go ahead and build a commercial zone here to buffer against the residential zone. And then we'll make another odd-shaped residential zone here next to the school. Okay, things are happening. Construction is happening. Let's add a hospital. So it looks like if things are next to each other, the power lines don't matter. Our city is getting a decent start. Let's speed it up a bit and see if we have income happening. Ooh, factories are growing. Okay, we need more residential. Let's build a nice seaside district here. Or lakeside, I'm not really sure. Alright, so our city is starting to grow. Look at all these constructions happening. Let's add our first recreation building, shall we? A marina. And here's a little access road to the marina. Alright, our city is growing. Alright, so we have to build ourselves a home. I don't know where exactly it is. Special buildings, I guess. Mayor's house. We're gonna build it lakeside. Right there. So I have special lakeside access to my home. All right, let's zone this area next to the marina for parks. Or we'll build the park right there. I think I can safely take out a portion of power lines now that we have the zones filling the work. Because the power automatically connects through zones. Oh, I'm running low on money here. All right. Our city's growing, but we're stagnating right now because we're out of money. So we'll start doing those in a bit. Right now, well, we lost population. Oh, shoot. And we're running low on money. We have a whole zone that's not connected to water. There. We fixed the water issue for now. Wow, we're literally out of money. Oh, shoot. There's a tornado approaching the city, and I don't have any money to do anything about it. It's going to take out my power lines, isn't it? Oh, good. It didn't shut down my power plant. That would have been a huge disaster. Wow. Let's raise taxes to 10 and see what happens. Oh, we're still in the negatives. Shoot. Let's see what happens. Okay, I'm getting contradicting news reports. Okay. Why does it look like people are leaving the city? Oof. Clearly, I don't have a good handle on this game yet. But you know, this was just a silly little bonus stream. I'm not doing well, so let's just call it here. We got a decent start. We figured out how to do things, which means we'll be able to stream this again in the future and get a more efficient start, hopefully. Let's see if there's anyone left online to raid. Gigi is still on. Should we raid her again? She's the only musician on right now, so let's do it. Alright, have a good night, for real this time. And we'll definitely be playing this again in the future. Gigi is still... Have a good night. Alright, have a good night, for real this time. And we'll definitely be playing this again in the future. Gigi is still...
Wake me, wake me, wake me up. Welcome back.